You're the world's worst thing to try to frame.
Sorry?
Shut your midget ass up.
Are you recording any of this?
Yep!
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Dial It Up. Today we're going to talk about a very quiet rule that exists. And a lot of people don't actually know that it exists. Because the hard thing about this game, when you really get down into the deep and nitty-gritty part of it, is that when you get a starter pack that's supposed to introduce you into the game, and you get the rule book, and you get the pack, this actually doesn't give you all the information you need to learn everything about the game. So the other thing that's there is the online resource of the Player's Guide. And this gets updated, I believe, twice a year. And little erratas, clarifications, rules that need to be added, expanded upon, are put inside the Player's Guide. And it's a huge monster of a thing. So it's very easy for little one-line rules to get overlooked. One of the ones we're going to talk about today is exactly that. On page 3 of the general rules of this first section of the Player's Guide is underneath the power and ability section is one line that says, game effects which grant the use or possession of another game effect have no effect on the recipient if the recipient can already use the new effect. So what does that mean? Basically, that means if what's showing on your character's dial is the same as what you're getting from a resource or an entity or a relic, what have you.
Don't point at me when you say relic.
If it's a duplicate power, you're not going to get anything out of the other power that's granted to you. And this is also really important now with the things like the entities, where you can now be given special powers, which now have little sub-powers to them. Like, you can use this power, but when you do, this, and this happens. Like, Ophidian's white power is you can use Outwit. And when you do, you can now use the power that you outwitted. So, if Ophidian is possessing Rocket, which is what I did at Nationals, I can't actually benefit from that white power, because Rocket can already use Outwit. So, I can't duplicate that effect, which also means that I don't get any bonuses from that expanded subset of his special power there. So there's a lot of things now that are granting these powers, like the resources, the entities, that just aren't getting used if they're put on, not the wrong characters, but if they're put on characters that are already using that power. And these are really, really predominant in this game. So this ends up being a very quiet rule that people don't know about because it's tucked inside in the Player's Guide, but it has a huge effect on the current gameplay. The one good thing about it is that if you're getting the same power from another source, if your original source is outwitted, then you're still getting that power. So if I've got Rocket, who's got willpower, shut up, I love Rocket, with the green power battery, with the green ring inside, and he's got a construct, well, he's now getting willpower from the ring, which he can't duplicate. But if Rocket's dial willpower was to outwit, oh, now he doesn't have, if his willpower was to be outwitted, now he doesn't have willpower, so now I can get it from the green battery. So at least there's that little upside to it. But the big thing is that when you're being granted these special powers, and you're not allowed to duplicate them, so unfortunately when there is these nice little subsets of them, you're not going to benefit from them. One of the ones that actually did come up on the WizKids Rules forum was the new Red Lantern Spectre, which I don't have. If you guys want to give it to me. No.
You're going to see show way more cleavage to just get a Red Lantern Spectre sent to us.
No, but he's got an awesome power where characters within 4 squares of him can use Blade's Claw's Fangs, and when they do, it does cool stuff. I can't remember, I'm sorry. I'll put an annotation at the bottom here to actually what his power does. But a Red Lantern Spectre with Red Lantern Deckstar or Red Lantern Recruits, those guys are already packing Blade's Claw's Fangs, so they're not going to be benefiting from a Red Lantern Spectre giving them that extra Blade's Claw's Fangs power. So, it's kind of a shame, but it's something that you just got to keep in mind of if you're with all of these huge amount of things in the game now that are so prevalent, that are just not going anywhere. Guys, entities are not going anywhere. Deal with it. Just to bear in mind, keep it in the back of your head that if it matches something on your dial, you have to go with your dial first. And sub note, if it's not on your dial, but you're getting it from 2 separate sources, you get to choose what source you get it from.